What is going on, everyone? And we are here for From the Beginning series for week 6. This week we were at Virginia International Raceway full course. It was a pretty interesting week of racing. Unfortunately, we had not the best of luck. We were involved in incidents in both races, so we'll recap those. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record on the stream at the very start, so I missed the first incident in race 1. But we had a pretty awesome drive back through the field and actually got back to 4th position from 13th. So we'll have some little videos of us overtaking cars, and just sort of how we set the moves up along the way, so that'll be pretty cool to go through. Race 2 was something very similar, got tagged quite early. I actually used a little bit too much curb because it was sort of, I guess you could say, squeezed a little bit, and then it bounced off the curb funny and rotated the car as well. So, and then in regards to a little bit of information for the week, we're actually going to divert you to another video if you guys are interested in watching it, and it's all about how we use brake bias in the car. Now, obviously, you don't really adjust it too much in these style of cars, but it definitely will help you to start to understand when you're chasing a balance of the car. So if you want to check that one out, that'll be just up here. If not, let's get into the rest of the week. All right. Alright guys, so here is the results from the race 1 of week 6. So we had a pretty interesting sort of race. Obviously we got taken out very early into turn 3, so we actually fell to the back. So considering that we were able to drive back through the field, as you saw from some of the videos, we made some great passes along the way and got back to 4th place. So nice little haul of iRating and only a little bit of safety, obviously, with a few little incidents, but happy with that. Not far off the race leader's pace. So, and there you go. That is race 1 done. Alright guys, so we're just looking at the vision from lap 1 of race 2. So obviously top split again. We sort of got a decent start, but we were sort of being a little bit cautious with tyres. We didn't want to overheat them too early. We got sort of pinched here, grabbed the curb, and the car rotated around. So a little bit frustrating this early to have cars be a little bit too aggressive, but that's part of racing sometimes. So we were able to get the car turned around. We lost about 6 seconds to the pack, but we were able to start to gain back towards. Alright, so this is a little bit of footage as we come back. We made a really late move down the inside, but got it clean. He sort of stayed to the outside, but then we were able to drive around the outside down the hill here on him. So really happy with this first clean move into the pack. And then we start to get stuck into the cars in front. Have a very good exit here. And this is where it gets a little bit awkward. We got the run on the car 6, but then car 6 pinched us and we were sort of being put towards the grass. So we decided to play it safe and back out of it here and sit behind the 6 instead of trying to risk it, go 3 wide and cause a whole pile of carnage down the front straight. The car 12 was on the outside. I decided to set myself up in the middle so I got a good run. I got a run past 12 and started to look at 6 as well. So I was very happy with that. As we come through here, car 6's spatial awareness is probably a little bit not great. Didn't give me a lot of room on the outside. Tried to door me a little bit, so I was a little bit frustrated by that, especially considering that I had quite a lot of pace over him. So as we come through here, made sure to set up my exit and get a very good run. Come through the little flip-flop section here and focus on the straight drive down towards the next group of corners. Using the draft through here, get a lot of speed, carry a lot of corner, and make a little mistake here. 6 checks up a little bit more than I expected him to, and unfortunately just tagged him in the rear and spun him around. So I felt pretty bad for that situation. That was 100% on me, but I just wanted to put that in the video to show you guys. Okay, so we're now looking at the positions 3rd, 4th, and 5th here. We're currently in 5th, fighting with 4th, and looking like we could actually score a podium from a pretty average start to the race. So we start to set ourselves up. We know we got a lot of speed, so we stay to the outside of the circuit and brake nice and early to try and do the switchback. Unfortunately, the 5 sort of slides mid-corner, so we decide to go on the outside of him. It's looking quite good. The 2's on the outside of him, so we back off in between. We sort of brake early, let them rotate round, and then as we start to pick the throttle up, the 2 rotates in front of us. So unfortunately, we just got caught out by a little mistake from the car in front. Alright guys, so here is race 2 for week 6 results. And unfortunately, it didn't go to plan in this one. We qualified P3, but we did fall back through the field. We had a car sort of forced us onto a curb early, as you saw, which caused a spin. And then we were sort of driving a little bit angry and aggressive from that point and made a couple of other little mistakes. So cost ourselves a little bit of safety and I rating. Unfortunately, we didn't hit the 2,000 goal for the week. But that's all right. We'll regroup and we'll keep pushing for the rest of the season. So, yeah. But pace was pretty good, as you can see, from the best lap time compared to the cars around us. It was a couple of spins that cost us the average lap. So, all right. So now we are looking at the championship standings overall out of 25,000 drivers, just over, and we are currently 71 in the world. So very solid for the week again. Pretty happy to still be in that top 100. Goals to try and get to that top 50 by the end of the season, but we'll see how we track with that. There's some very fast guys in here. But yeah, so very happy with that. We've had 10 starts and 5 wins and 8 top 5. So we've had a couple of average races in the last 2 weeks, unfortunately, which has probably brought that average down a little bit. But all in all, pretty happy with where we are tracking at the moment. Now, if we look at our division, we are currently P1. So we've actually moved up a spot. So that's pretty exciting to see. And we've got ourselves a nice little gap of points now. So not a heap, but we're looking like we're about 17 points ahead in the championship. Couple of guys that we sort of compete against that we know are fast haven't taken this week's racing. But it actually is looking quite good for us at the moment. So 17-point lead, and there's 11,000 guys that have set championship races in this division. So if we can come away with this, we'll be pretty happy. So we'll keep tracking on it. Obviously, that first race that we had where we finished fourth, we didn't quite score the 100 points that we would have liked to, but we weren't far off. I think we scored like 93, 94 points. So it's given us a nice little bump. Hopefully next week for week 7, we can just extend that lead a little tiny bit and give us a little bit more comfort, especially with some of these guys that haven't set that 6 week of racing. We don't know what that's going to look like come the end of the season, if they're going to only do 8 weeks or if they've just moved on to another category now or whatever. So far so good, guys. So we'll keep tracking away.